Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike Harivom Tatsat Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Jalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langayate Girim Yat Gurvatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Das Thakur Ki Jai Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Sadashiv Ki Jai Amrita Tulsi Manani Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय प्रभुपाद की जय गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम Canto 5 Creative Impetus Chapter 13 Conversation between Maharaj Rahugana and Jada Bharata continues verse number, let us look at the verses, verse number 16, 17, let's see, 20. We have to go back and refer. Verse number 20. Three verses to refer. Previous verses also sobering. So many of you become bewildered. So I had to skip some of these verses, these chapters. What to do? Rahugana tvam api advano asya sanyastadanda krutabhota maitra asajitatma harisevayasitam. Very important. Asajitatma. Jita, ajita. Ajita means uncontrolled or cannot be conquered. Jita means so ajita means cannot be conquered. Jita means conquered. That is senses and or conquering the Lord. So conquering the heart of Guru, Sadhu, Krishna. Sat and Asat. Sat means pure, Asat means impure, Sat means religious, Asat means irreligious, Sat means pure devotee, Asat means impure devotee, or those who are not following. So, Hari Sevaya Asitam, that is the most important. Then further, Gnana Asim Adaya Tarati Param, that is also, as soon as one comes to that Hari Sevaya Asitam, then by the transcendental knowledge, is taking the sword of the transcendental knowledge and cutting everything into pieces, removing all the unwanted clutter, everything becoming clear day after day. The Jnana Asim Madaya, then Tanadipar, then he can come to the perfection. And he can come to the transcendental stage of consciousness. Para, inferior and superior, Pratyagatma, Paragatma, in the context of yoga. Lord speaks in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So here also similarly words are used like that. Rahugana tvam api advano asya sanyasta danda kruta bhuta maitra asajitatma harisevaya sitam gnanasim adaya tanati param. Word to word, Rahugana. O King Rahugana, from you, Api, also, he certainly, Advana, the path of material existence. Asya, this Sanyasta Danda, having given up kings rod up for punishing criminals. Kruta, Bhuta, Maitra, having becoming friendly to everyone. Asad, Jita Atma, whose mind is not attracted to material pleasures of life. So, Asad, Jita Atma. And then, Hari Sevaya, by the means of loving service to the Supreme Lord. Sitam, sharpened. Gnana Asim, the sword of knowledge. This is used in many Canto 3 and a few other places. You'll find this verse, Gnana Asim. Then Adhaya, taking in hand, Tara, crossover, Atiparam, to the ultimate end of spiritual existence. These are Paragatma, um, Atiparam. Translation by His Divine Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear King Rahugana, you are also a victim of the external energy. External energy means this three modes. There is internal energy, there is a marginal energy, there is external energy. External energy is whatever we see in this material world, which consists of three modes of material nature. This material manifestation, the Prakriti, Jada Jagat. So, unless somebody gives the power, then it will work. By its own, it cannot work. The matter. So, that is external energy. Lord is has given the power so that it is working. It consists of three modes of material nature as well as the external energy. Who is in charge of external energy is Durga Devi. Internal energy is Srimati Radharani. So spiritual one, all the Lakshmis, Dwarka queens, Durga, all of them are expansion. But Srimati Radharani is in charge for internal energy. So internal energy, external energy, and marginal energy, we, the living entity. Internal energy also means the Supreme Lord, pure devotees, all comes under that. But I just give example. Then the marginal energy are living entities, human beings, or other species also living entities. They are marginal, I mean they can choose, but especially human beings. They can choose to go towards the Lord, towards religious brother, towards Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. Or they can choose towards going to the Asad Dharma, so a religious process against the Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma. You can use all those terms. That is a marginal energy. So we have a choice. We have independence. Some level, not full independence, not so we can choose within the circumstances. It could be in flight, it could be in office, it could be anywhere. You could be going through so many things, but still one has a choice. Even your astrological, whatever stars, whatever going on, still one has a choice what to do. In any condition, you can make a choice to chant, you can make a choice to hear, you can make a choice to read, you can make a choice to help others, you can make a choice to look after somebody. So many things you can choose. But it's still, even whatever condition may go on astrologically, so that is because devotional service comes beyond astrological, whatever is been general, that is general, karma, action, reaction. Whatever based on what we have done, chart is general written. But one can go beyond that when astrology is in touch with the internal energy, the Supreme Lord and the pure devotees, then he can go beyond, then things can be changed. Otherwise, things cannot be changed. These are some of the things one has to understand here. So, Rishabhadev is telling, Jada Bharata is telling to Rahugana, king, my dear King Rahugana, you are also a victim of the external energy. That's what he's been talking about. Because you are victim of external energy, you are being attached to the some anger, you are attached to the greed, you are opulent, so many things. You are trying to enjoy yourself, not actually taking care of citizens, not banking on the permanent things, all the impermanent things you are banking on. So you yourself, and also you are engaging all your citizens also in the same impermanent things, just day to day basis. How to enjoy the worldly things, which because dharma is actually the permanent thing which doesn't change. Fire is chilly, water is liquidity. This doesn't change. Whether you're in US or India or all over the world, wherever you are, water is always liquidity only. Chilly means it is spicy. And so that is the nature of it. Same thing. Our original nature is Swadharma. Dharma means actually our real nature is to serve the Lord, serve Son of God, the loving service to the Lord. That service is towards the Lord. That is the center point. That is actually Sanatana Dharma. Bhagavatam means Lord is in the center. Bhagavan is in the center. That's why it's called Sanatana, which doesn't change. Dharma, which doesn't change. You can change from Hindu to Muslim to something else today. These are all temporary things. But what is permanent is your service, your relationship with the Supreme Lord doesn't change. It doesn't matter you're a human being or an ant or so all the species of life, they all have individual, unique, specific relationship with the Lord. That is not changed. So one has to come to that realization. For that, three things are required. Three things are very important to come to that. We'll discuss that. Being situated on the path of attraction to material pleasure. Yes, because why is he victim? Because he is situated on the path of attraction to the material pleasure, not the which is permanent, not spiritual pleasure, not transcendental pleasure. He is attracted to material pleasure. So that you may become an equal friend to all living entities, I now advise you to give up your kingly position and the rod by which you punish criminals, give up attraction to the sense objects, and take up the sword of knowledge sharpened by devotion service is almost is concluding. So pretty much that's why he's coming because he has explained you are attached to the lust, you are attached to anger, you are attached to greed. That's why he has given in the forest so many different animals, mosquitoes there, foxes are there, dogs are there, snakes are there. In terms of the envy, jealousy, lust, anger, greed, all kinds of things, and he uses that example. Different kinds of attractions we have. So the all the that's why there are religious principles. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, because these are the basic tenets of religious process. But in today's world, religion has a different connotation, different understanding. These principles are not followed at all. You go to any faith, these principles are not followed. At the best, they come to temple or do something, but some puja, some sacrifice, some samskara. But these four principles are not followed. But as soon as you say religion, Sadharma, Bhagavad Dharma means these four are is first and foremost. This has to be followed. There is no other way. Otherwise, then it is not Asad Dharma. It is not Bhagavad Dharma. It is something else. Somebody has come up with their own Dharma. So that's why Bhagavad Gita, most of the yogis, most of the Babajis, most of the president, whoever is writing, their translations, the versions doesn't make any sense because and they can't make anybody devotee because it's all based on the not based on the religious principle, which is the fundamental, the core principles of the Bhagavad Gita, and that is not enunciated, that is not stressed. None of them, they themselves don't follow, and they are translating. And the one reads that those Bhagavad Gitas, then you can't get anything out of it. You can't become a devotee. You can't transform it. So that we have to be very clear. Is I now advise you to give up your kingly position and the rod by which you punish criminals. Give up attraction to sense objects and take up the sword of knowledge sharpened by devotion service. Because you can take any knowledge, material knowledge, so many types, IT, business, whatnot. You have so many, cooking, you name it, so many different departments. But it has to be sharpened by devotion service. Then all the knowledge can become perfect. You can utilize it for proper thing. Then you'll be able to cut the hard knot of illusory energy and cross the other side of the ocean of science. Because what we are seeing, the ocean is here is a ocean of ignorance. In this material world, everything is filled with ignorance. Spiritual world is completely beyond that ignorance. It's the light. Here darkness, there is light. So here there is a Nirananda. So or suffering, anxiety, frustration. There it's completely full of pleasure. There is no that anxiety. If at all, if anxiety is there, that spiritual anxiety will be there. So just to create the situation to increase the pleasure, increase the rasa variety. So those anxieties, those different kind of competition, so-called jealousy, so-called envy, are created to bring the competition to bring the best out of the person, so increase the rasa. For that, these are there, but it is not here in the material world. Everything becomes more. That's why even the sex life attraction is there, but that is not like what we see in this material. It's completely opposite. In spiritual world, attraction is not at all on the body concept of life, not on the body at all. So attraction is based on the love. Not on the temporary thing, on the permanent things, because this body is temporary here in this material world, but we are attracted to the temporary things. So that's why for this translation, what it means is the three things. It is very much imperative. My dear King Rahugana, you are also victim to the action energy, being situated on the path of attraction to material pleasure, so that you may become to an equal friend to all living entities. I now advise to you to give up your kingly position and the rod by which you punish criminals, as well as attached to the designation. You are taking one is entering into certain type of role, certain type of job, but is deeply attached to that, not understanding the what is the end result of what he has to do to get that end result. But he's fixed on his title, designation. So very much attached to that. So that has to be given up. That means basically this verse is talking about the detachment, exactly the same thing as Yoga of the Supreme Person, 15th chapter, verse number 5. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is talking about first section of 15th chapter. It's talking about detachment from this material world internally, not so much externally. How to detach ourselves, cut the unwanted things in the heart, clean our heart. That is what is. That's why the words, last line is important. Give up the attraction to sense objects. Take up the sword of knowledge sharpened by devotion service. Then you will be able to cut the hard knot of illusion energy and cross to the other side of ocean of science. Three things becomes very important. To pay attention. First one is consistency. So it's very important. Then next is responsibility. One has to do things consistently, and then one has to do with a great responsibility. Then further, one has it is a sequential also. It goes progressively. Also, these things it has no bar. It can go on at exponential level. The starting point, and then we go on in this. Many levels are there, and then further, then maturity, consistency, responsibility, maturity. Mm. This is expected in the day-to-day activities also, in the material things also. Everybody expects, especially the consistency is expected by the teacher to the student. When you go to school, college, consistency expected by the wife, children, so parents, so or in the job, your manager. So everybody expects a consistency. So he doesn't need to look for one day you'll do, next day you'll not do. Then he can't be. Then the reliability is not there. That means the person is as soon as consistency is not there. That means he cannot become responsible. Then the manager will have to think twice before he can give the work to this person. Because even if I tell him, then he will say yes, 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 and then he will not do. Not one time, he will repeatedly he will do. Then how can he rely? Because he has to show up. He has to finish it to the his management. This is in material job, business, same thing. So, or in the house, same thing. Or in the, you have multiple kids. Then you know who's at what level, what they are good at accordingly. You tell them that they are grown up. So, accordingly, what they can do, what they cannot do, and then you don't want them to do certain things because otherwise they will create chaos, or they will do wrong things, or they will use it wrongly. So, it is a waste of time, and you'll have to do double work, and so everything will be lost. So the consistency is very important in everything. In material life, as well as spiritual life, is even more important. And then one has to further become responsible. When one becomes responsible, then consistency will be even. It becomes more. Is very much is consistently doing it, and is also becoming responsible, making sure I'm doing exactly what is being instructed by the superiors, authority, material level. But spiritual level, Shastra, Sadhu, especially the Guru's teachings is done day after day, week after week. So then naturally, then service, everything comes with it. If one is not consistent, then one cannot become responsible. Then Guru cannot give responsibility to them. So yes, based on that, you can see them all the way from all the chain of command, all the way. Look at Lord Shiva. If he was not consistent, he wouldn't have been given annihilation. He wouldn't have been given to drink poison. All the difficult things is because he was very consistent. is very responsible and is mature. So then only one will be given the most difficult task, most complicated task, because superior authority knows this person can do whatever task is given. He will do it with consistency. He will do it with great responsibility, and he will do it with great maturity. If he is not consistent, he cannot become mature. He may do it consistently, but he will still doesn't understand the actual, the mood and the purpose uh, of the authority. He may do something, but it won't be done with maturity. In terms of relationship, in terms of how it is done, what is the end result, whether it's for pleasing the Lord. He can do consistently, but it is not really pleasing. So you cannot understand what, as Prabhupada tells, should I go to India or not? Before going to India, this pastime is happening. Before going, Rukmini Dwarkadish told Prabhupada, you should go to India now and preach. And a great situation also, Bombay, Juhu, Radha Rasbihari temple problem was going on as well. And here also problem. See, the multiple tasks, just like Lord's pastimes, also multiple things are solved at one time, like killing everybody on the battlefield, 64 crores of men. It took time to bring everybody together, everybody done, one shot. So Lord does that. Same thing, Prabhupada also. Multiple problems are going on. Juhu problem was going on. Mr. Nair has taken usurped the so our property, temple's property, and he wants to, because it is real estate, he wants to get money, just like here it has been mentioned. Illusion energy, it was attracted to enjoy, even though it belongs to somebody else, somebody has already taken it, but he wants now, so usurp it. Another problem was going on in the here on this side is some of the devotees has become now made them Prabhupada as God. Prabhupada is very clear in his philosophy, in his teachings, very clear. As per what Lord Krishna is teaching, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad, exactly followed as per Parampara, is very clear about it. We are just servant of God. So we are not the masters. He never explained like that in anywhere. But some of them has become, because their brains were spoiled by whom? For those who are envious of Sri Prabhupada. The Prabhupada's God brothers. They have somehow injected this kind of philosophy and different things and spoiled their brains, and they also became like that. They also has now the understanding has changed. Whatever Prabhupada trained till that point. That's why if one is not mature, then your understanding, you may be consistent, you may be responsible, but the maturity will change. If you are not mature enough, then you will do different things. You will do wrong things. One will do wrong things. That has happened. Big, big sannyasis. Those are not ordinary. They are practicing for so long. Because somebody else has told, they are not better. They are also in terms of seniority, yes, they are some of them are even more senior. But we have to look at now, how do we know then what to take, what not to take, what to reject, even though they may be senior. Then you have to go to the previous Acharya, whose disciples are these? They are still Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur disciples. Whom did he give the authority? Whom did he give the main instructions? Only Prabhupada. Still, Prabhupada is the only one who has been given the topmost, the most important instruction repeatedly, 3, 4 times. That means what does it tell? That means Sri Prabhupada is very consistent. Doesn't matter, even though he was in Prayag pharmacy, he was in Grihastha, he was outside, he was not a sannyasi, he was not a brahmachari, he was not sitting in the temple. No, but Guru has understood. He is very consistent, he is very responsible, and on top of it, is very mature in his understanding his relation with his Supreme Lord and Guru, and what is the purpose of life, and what Guru is teaching, with what mode it has to be done. He has understood. That's why Guru has given, even though there are many seniors, many of them are sannyasis, brahmacharis, whatnot, but his Guru has given only to this person. Then whom will you rely? If you are mature, if you are responsible, especially if you are mature, then you could have easily understood. Others may instruct, seniors may instruct, but you will not take their words. You will reject those words because it is you understand, who is Guru's statements, whom he relied on, whom he gave the main instruction, major instructions. Then, based on that, you will know. So Srila Prabhupada, when it came that situation, four of the sannyasis did this. Prabhupada is God now. He's not a spiritual master, actually he's God. So they claim that. Prabhupada expelled them and then told for 1 year you can't come. You stay outside and preach. Even he used that also. That time also he sent Pakistan and whatnot, all kinds of preaching. Prabhupada used it even though this is the most difficult and he solved it so easily. He used it for preaching. Go on preaching here, there, so many different places complicated. They were expelled, but they are so compassionate, so engaged, and that's what you'll see in the Canto 3, Chapter 25. The solution for this the Bhagavad Gita is 15.5. This has been discussed. That's the Prabhupada is putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verses are discussed in the purport. Where it is to do with the detachment. First, it talks about the problem, actual energy, the attraction is there in terms of the green leaves of the tree, in terms of Vedic knowledge. Everybody is attracted to different benefits, what one can get. If you come to temple, if you worship demigods, if you do this puja, if you do that, what benefit I will get? So everybody is attracted, not real essence, what the Sanatana Dharma Bhagavad Dharma is teaching. Um, then the fifth verse is talking, this is the problem. Now you have to give up many things. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivrutta kama dandai vimukta sukha dukkha sangne gachanti amuda padam avyayantat. Then the five things you have to give up. The illusion, the false ego, as well, that is the first one. Otherwise you can't surrender, you can't follow Sadharma, you can't follow Bhagavad Dharma. There is no surrender. Then you can't be consistent. Surrender is the biggest main thing. One cannot be consistent, one cannot be responsible, one cannot be mature. One will jump, one will move, one will change, and one will take. If somebody else says tomorrow something, then we will take it. Oh, so is senior, oh, this may be right. Whatever I thought I was right, whatever I understood, no, that's not right. So this person is right. So let me take that word, and we'll work on that. Whatever we heard, then we completely go off of that and then we take it up. So because this is a proper surrender is not there. We have not looked at, because everything has to be looked at based on the Shastra, Sadhu, Guru, and you have to look at the results also. What kind of results? If I have to rely on somebody, I have to look at the results. Is it in line with the Shastras? It is in line with Prabhupada. It is in line with the previous Acharyas. Then you consider the other's point of view. Otherwise, you cannot consider because if it is not, you can't wait on based on the Sadhu Shastra and Guru. Results is not on the par on that level. Then why should I rely on this person? Why should I accept that person's instructions, suggestions, so his teachings? No, you should not be accepting because even though he may be speaking high things, but it doesn't match up to what the Sampradaya Acharyas are speaking. So, four bona fide Acharyas, four bona fide Sampradayas. Four bona fide Sampradayas, Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, and Kumar Sampradaya. These are the four bona fide Sampradayas in the whole world. One follows, then one get immediate perfection. Bhakti becomes so simple. If one doesn't follow these four bona fide sampradayas, bona fide acharya from these, then you can do so many things in the world, in life, then there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. Lord will not be satisfied, neither you can one and cannot follow the process, one cannot attain the perfection. Not possible. So that is very clear. Sampradaya vihinaste, mantraste vifalamat. You may follow, mantra may be given, same Hare Krishna mantra or something else, Gayatri mantra, whatnot, but you can't attain perfection. Because you may be using for wrong, the person who is giving you is using for wrong purpose. Otherwise, you will fit in the bona fide sampradaya. It will automatically bring the person to the bona fide sampradaya. So that is the process, that is the consistency, maturity, and so Prabhupada at the most difficult things he has to deal with. So the Juhu Bombay problem, and then he has to deal with this problem, making Prabhupada as God, that problem, and other things, and his health was also not all right. So many things were going on at the same time. Then Prabhupada and Rukmini Dwarka, they instruct also. So many things, all in fell in line. He used all these opportunities to establish now, preach in India, means Radha Rasbihari temple in Juhu, and then establish Siddha Mayapur temple, Sri Radha Madhava, Panchatattva, Narsimdev, and then in Vrindavan, Krishna Balram temple, Krishna Balram, Sri Radha Shyamchandra, and Sri Gaur Nitai, center, New Raman Reti, in Vrindavan. So this he has established and he preached widely, so all over India. So it started with US, but by these all these settings, things has come up, but he was so consistent, so mature. He could understand, he could see how the Guru is playing the role, how the Lord is playing the role, and is giving the clear indication. Because he was so mature, he could see what it means, what he should do in this particular scenario. Uh, and tremendous result has come out of that most difficult situation, and it became so easy for him. He could tolerate it, he could operate it at the highest level, and he could produce tremendous results. So that is a perfect example of Srila Prabhupada. And the Prabhupada asked at that time also. See, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked devotees, what should we do? What is the best thing to do? He used to ask his disciples many times. Damodar Pandit, different devotees, he has to ask. Sometimes spiritual master asks. Sadhu. Prabhupada also asked, should I go to India? He asked one by one. Every devotee in LA while sitting. Different devotees said, some devotees didn't say anything. Prabhupada asked Dayananda Prabhu, what do you think? Should I go to India or not? Um, whatever your desire is, then immediately short back. So my desire is always Sankirtan, distributing the Lord Krishna's message to all over the world. So he wants to hear what he thinks on what basis. That Prabhupada, after that, Prabhupada went to India as per the Lord, and he knows what is Guru is instructing, Lord is emphasizing, Lord is reiterating. And they went to India at the time and then established these temples. And this requires consistency, responsibility, and maturity. One is not mature, you may be too consistency is there, but responsibility is there, but you won't be able to understand the Lord's instruction. You won't be able to understand the Guru's instructions. It's not easy. So that requires the lots of submission, lots of prayers, lot of dependence on the Lord and Sadhu and Guru. This is very much required in devotion service. Now we'll read the purport and we'll further understand this consistency, responsibility, and maturity. Then only one can give. If one is not consistent, so in devotion practice, one cannot give anything. Lord cannot give, Guru cannot give, Sadhu cannot give certain thing. He cannot instruct because on what basis he can instruct and do this, do that? Because he is not going to do it. So how can he be given service if he is not consistent? If he is not responsible, how can he give service to them? Then they will do wrong things. Yes. Yeah, and I told her I had to, help. So one senior devotee has come recently. Then I had to help. So in Brooklyn Temple, I had to do certain things. Then I called up one of my friend devotee. I called up and said, "Yes, he's senior. I should find a responsible devotee." He didn't say any devotee. No, I had to find a responsible devotee. So because devotees know those who are practicing this Krishna consciousness, they know. Because if they are not responsible, then it becomes a chaos. Even though you may do things, whatever that thing has to be done, but you'll do it wrong way. You will act improperly. Behavior will be uh, unacceptable. So then result will be completely different. That when the sadhu is displeased, when the senior devotee is displeased, then no value of rendering that service. So that's why one has to be double cautious to especially to assist to serve a senior devotee means the person whom we send has to be responsible. We cannot just assign to anybody. So that's a consistency plays significant role. On top of it, consistency response. That means one is practicing Krishna consciousness sincerely. If he's not practicing, then you cannot give that service. No, you cannot give that service. Small services you can give, but the main services you cannot give because you won't be able to. You can't understand the basic tenets of Krishna consciousness, even the Vaishnava etiquette. So many things will come into picture when there is no consistency, when there is no responsibility. Lord cannot give as well through Lord only. Lord is inspiring the sadhus, inspiring the Guru is to give this to various living entities, various practitioners. Only when he sees one is consistently practicing it and one is becoming responsible day after day, and then further one is becoming mature. So bhakti is simple, but when the heart is simple, then you will follow it. As soon as Prabhupada Shastra says, Prabhupada says, this is what you should do, as Krishna is telling. That's what Krishna is telling. You can clearly see the second chapter, first instruction on consistency, responsible maturity, you can see that. Arjuna, you have to tolerate this matras parsastakam. What does it tell? That means consistency. You are losing your consistency. What has happened to your fighting spirit, as a Kshatriya? You're not consistently acting. Neither you are becoming responsible. What has happened to your responsibility? Your father, mother, both sides, they have not acted like this. Anaridustam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. How can you act like this? This is completely irresponsible. You are becoming irresponsible. You better act responsibly. That means you follow at least your father, mother. Your dynasty never acted like that. Same thing when Vamandev appeared, in front of Bali Maharaj, Vamandev was telling same thing. Bali Maharaj, you are so great that in your dynasty there was no person has acted irresponsibly. They were so consistent, so responsible that they were always serving the Brahmanas. No matter, even if they are ready to give. Your father has done it. Prahlad Maharaj has done it. And your father Virochana also, even though he knows demigods are coming in the guise of Brahmanas, but still he didn't care less. He is ready to give his life to them. So this shows the consistency, responsibility, maturity in serving the Lord and Lord's representatives. Prahlad Maharaj has done it, Virochana has done it, and I see that you are also in the same capacity. That's why I have come here. Because you are so consistent, so responsible, so mature. And Lord has three pieces of land. And even though his spiritual master Sukracharya has done so many things to revive his life, he is dead. He revived his life. Even though then he could understand because of the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj and because of dynasty. And and he offered mentally, as soon as the Lord entered into the arena, he offered mentally respectful obeisances. And Lord has completely purified him just by simply offering the obeisances with heart. Naturally, the Lord has given the full intelligence what he should do, and he could reject, he could understand it clearly with great maturity. That Sukracharya, what is instructing, even though he saved my life, but what he is instructing is against the tenets of Sanatana Dharma, against tenets of what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching me, my grandfather, and what my father did, Virochana has done. Now I cannot operate on this. I have to reject this guru. And he rejected and operate. So that's what they should have done, these four sannyasis, even though the God was instructed, if they had a maturity of this understanding, then they should have rejected it. But that maturity, the great submission has to be there, that one has to stick to that. That's why whatever Acharya has given, those books one has to read, those principles, those instructions, what he said, secret of success, those should be done day after day, week after week. Then naturally we automatically become very responsible. We lack responsibility and we can become more and more mature. Day after day we become mature. Otherwise we can't. Mm, then we understand everything. Bhagavad Gita clearly what Krishna is telling about this consistency, responsibility, maturity. Yeah, Krishna, a lot Krishna expected from Arjuna. All these three things. Otherwise, you wouldn't have instructed repeatedly. Each chapter is answering his questions because you could have spoken to anybody else on the battlefield. But only to Arjuna only is revealing this knowledge because he is so consistent. He is the dear mother, he is a devotee. He was so soft in his character. So he is not ready to fight. So because he is becoming as a tolerant as he is thinking, why should I enjoy this kingdom? I should give up even if they are ready to kill me, even though I don't have any arms. I can give up. It's okay. I can die. No problem. So soft because he was a completely perfect devotee position of a humble, menial servant of the Lord and devotee. That was his position. So that is the same thing we have to apply in our life. That means one should practice chanting and hearing. And it has to be done in the association of devotees. Kaddamuni Devavati, if you look at Canto 3, Chapter 25, exact instructions is given about the consistency, responsibility, maturity, but it can only be done in the association of devotees because then you can give up. Otherwise, you cannot give up. If you are not consistent in practice, you cannot give up anything, neither coffee, tea, nor meat, nor drink, nor anything. No attractions one can give up if you are not, especially the association of devotee. So, if that is not strong enough, not is strong, if you don't have a real love, genuineness is not there, You cannot give up even one thing. So, day after day, week after week, whole life you'll do things, but you cannot give up these things. Not possible. It can only be possible when we are actually love the sadhu who's following this Bhagavad Dharma. Then you can give up. Everything you can give up. Because life is meant to serve the sadhu. Shastra is repeatedly telling, Krishna is repeatedly telling, Lord Ramchandra is repeatedly showing these examples, so that then only you can be detached from this material world. Internally, you can be detached. Otherwise, not possible. Here, Rahugana, see, whole life he struggled. Even with Jada Bharata also was acting like that. But the minute he became receptive to Jada Bharata, he got out from the chariot, he offered obeisances, he submitted, he understood that this person is not ordinary. This person is beyond my understanding. He is a real, genuine sadhu. He is honest. He is thorough. So yes, we'll see that example also. One of the great personality, I think, great philosopher, Zen Buddhism, whatever. He said, I have understood everything, but I have met so many yogis, so many babas, so many sannyasis, so many, but I have never met any person like Srila Prabhupada. He's thorough. He's thorough means he's not of this world. He's of the spiritual world. This person is not of this world. He could explain the philosophy in very simple terms. He has understood the essence. He could bring me to them because he's worked with, he has met all Hindus, Christians, whatnot. Everybody has met. So this person was a famous person. So at that time. But when he met Prabhupada, he only few minutes conversed and he said immediately, so please make me your younger brother. Uh, and he offered, so many people were there, he was so famous, but without any embarrassment, he offered his respects. So to Sri Prabhupada, he understood this person is not of this world. So those who are genuine, because Paramatma will reveal, doesn't matter which faith you are coming from, what your background is, what your position is, you may be noble winner, whatever you may be, but one will automatically comes to one's knees and he find the genuine, honest, superior person. Lord makes him do that. Lord gives the strength, intelligence, everything will be given to that. If one is not honest enough, one is not sincere, one is not receptive to the sadhu, then one cannot be given mercy, then full mercy, one cannot become consistent, one cannot become responsible, and one cannot become mature in the practices. And it comes by the only serving the sadhus who are in line with the acharyas. Anybody who is not in line with the acharya exact principle, you have to see their practice. You have to see their results. So that's a look at three J's. That's how I have myself has surrendered. Myself has understood with this consistency, responsibility, maturity. It's a long way to go, but I have understood by looking at our first thing is Jnana Prabhu. So he's so consistent in his practice, day after day. He doesn't need to be told by Prabhupada. He doesn't need to be told by anyone. He's so responsible, so mature. Prabhupada didn't need to tell at all. So working so hard day in, day out, because he has understood. Prabhupada didn't need to tell or to spend time, give instruction. No, he has understood. He's the first class disciple. Jananivas Prabhu was also like that. Even that's when you read Prabhupada's books, when you see the Narada Muni's explanation of the qualities of a devotee, what practice of devotion means, when you read the Mother Devahati and Kardamani, then you understand this consistency, responsibility, and maturity. It has to be seen by the results. Look at the results of the Jayananda Prabhu, what he has done, how many people he has touched, how much he has done, how much service day in, day out, with great submission. Same thing with Jananivas Prabhu. 50 plus years of his service with great humility. He could do it. Now the deity worship is going on gorgeously. Nowhere else you can see that in this world. Any other temple. Like in how it is done in Sri Mayapur. This requires consistency. This requires Prabhupada could have given this knowledge to anybody else. But Prabhupada has given, told about deity worship, how to manage, how to do everything to Jananivas Prabhu, and he has given his mercy, and then he has carried out when sadhu sees, and he gives his more mercy, everything fully. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. satisfied, then when Prabhupada was satisfied, then naturally everything, full blessings was given. So this is very important. Parabhakti. Yasya deve parabhakti yata deve tata guru tasya very prakasant maha. Everything will be revealed automatically. One will carry out because he was carrying out Prabhupada whatever he was instructing. When he saw that so consistently he was doing, so responsibly he was doing, then Prabhupada gave full instructions how to do things. Um, so Janivas also built Radhayatra and everything. Then that's it. Only first no few times in the beginning. That's it. After that, so much mercy, so much so was given for them. So you can see the tremendous results. Yes. Otherwise, it was difficult to find for me to find a match to the person close to Sri Prabhupada. Mm. I could match it up. These person, especially with Jayananda Prabhu. That was my first match, closest match I could get to. Who can you find with what Prabhupada is describing, what Prabhupada has done it? Who can you find? You can't find any better, highly qualified person like Jnana Prabhu. Mm. So it matches pretty much. So of course, Prabhupada's level is at very high still. That's why I was looking at. Any person is there closely matching. So Prabhupada, if I need to surrender, I have to see what Acharya is giving to that level. Who's coming close? Then only I can surrender. I was very clear on that. Then only I could give up whatever I was doing. I stopped. I wanted to do consultancy. I was doing it. I was getting money, so much money. But I said no. Prabhupada is clearly indicating what is to be done, how to dovetail your life, how to mold your life, what is important in life, what is priority, what is goal of life. Then I could give up easily all those things. No, this is not important. This is cut it. Everything you cut it. What is important, Prabhupada is telling you because Prabhupada is teaching in his own life how he has done it. There's so much practice to come to US to so much consistency, responsibility, maturity. He has practiced so many years. That's why by the mercy when sadhu does it, that practice, then only. Otherwise, he couldn't have done it. What he has done the rest of the world, 14 years traveling and preaching and producing the tremendous result, making so many innumerable devotees, millions of devotees all over the world, not just Indians, not just the Hindus. It is only possible when there is so much consistency, so much responsibility, and so much maturity in understanding what his Guru wants, what Lord wants. So everything was revealed to him. What exactly, how it has to be, everything was revealed to him. Uh, the Lord has to see, Guru has to see, sadhus have to see, then all the mercy will come naturally. If we don't follow, then naturally, then we can't get the mercy also. Then one cannot become mature, one cannot understand things. So even though Shastra is clear, but we won't be able to realize it. Things won't be clear in our head. Then we can't give up. So as Nita is saying, to give up, to go up, you have to give up things. So otherwise, it is not possible. Vishaya vanivartante nirahara rasavajjam raso param društva nivartate. When you develop higher taste, then you can give up these worldly things. So Narada Muni has given up everything else. He could understand his mother died by snake bite. Bhakti Vedanta, 4 months old, they instructed, they left. But he could practice. Because he has served sadhus with great receptivity and they gave the mercy and he took the remnants and that's it. 4 months has changed his whole life. He never looked back. He was so consistent, so responsible, so mature. He never attracted anything else. It was very clear because he has heard and the hearing is the most important in that. Hearing with rapt attention and following it immediately, not waiting for years and months. So, no. So, all these personalities look at throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. So, those who picked up, Prahlad Maharaj, Chitraketu Maharaj, they picked up so quick. As soon as they heard the instruction, right away. Dhruv Maharaj, right away, they never lacked in their consistency, responsibility, and maturity. This is what we should know, and we should do it. We become consistent, then we will become more and more responsible. And if you are provided, you are doing it for the Lord. All these things has to be done only for the Acharya and the Lord. Repeatedly, one has to do it day after day. You have to pray, keep on praying, keep on submitting it. So please instruct me how I can please you. And you have to in our prayer day to day basis. Please engage me always. You have to pray to the Lord and the acharyas and so all the mahajans that please keep me always in the shelter of Guru and Prabhupada. And then comes next sadhu and Vaishnavas. Please give me the opportunity to serve them without offenses, with a great respect and faith, to please my Guru, please Sri Prabhupada, please Sri Bhakti Siddhanta, previous acharyas. When we submit every day, day in, day out, and we are hankering for the service, for pleasing them, then one can become consistent, one can become responsible, then one can become maturity. And it goes by the practice. More you do it, more the sadhu's blessing, more we become increasing. This goes at highest levels, it goes. And you will see tremendous results. If you want to see the tremendous result, exactly what Acharya's instruction, that means the person has done this consistency, responsibility, maturity repeatedly, year after year, month after month. Then only you can see these result, transformation results. Otherwise, you can't see. What Prabhupada has done, what Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur has done, what Bhakti Vinod Thakur has done, you can clearly see in their whole life how much they are consistent. It didn't happen overnight, none of them. Prabhupada's life also. When he was retired from family, when he took sannyas, and when he did this much preaching and all these results, it has come after so much years of practice with consistency, responsibility, and maturity. So, if you want also same transformation result, if you want to perfect, if you want the ultimate happiness, then we have to do it with consistency, responsibility, day after day, with great submission and prayers, and we have to open our heart connection with the Lord and Sadhu and Guru and Sri Prabhupada. Then, when the Lord sees that we have great, our heart is open directly with spiritual master and Sri Prabhupada, then he can give the intelligence by which we can actually, day after day, what is to be done, what is not to be done, what to reject, what to cut, everything he will reveal. Lord, when the Lord sees that he is not really ready to follow what my representative is telling, but he wants to follow his own thing, then Lord cannot give the intelligence because we are not ready. Yoma Smarata Nitya Tasyaham, when one can do day after day, every day, 24 by 7 only, Tasyaham Sulava Parda, Yomam Smarata Nityaham. One has to do every day consistently. For them, bhakti is very easy. That's what Lord is telling in the 8th chapter. This verse, famous verse. Attaining the Supreme, otherwise one cannot attain. Bhakti is easy, but we are not honest. We are heart to heart connection is not open. So our heart is filled with 100 things. We are not really understanding the real goal of life, real principles of Sanatana Dharma. That is the main crux of this particular verse. Now we'll read the purport. Already time is uh, 6:55. Let us read the purport now. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna compares the material world to a tree of illusion from which one must cut oneself free. This is internal, not so much external. Krishna never instructed so much externally give up this. It is internal. His mind is the one which is giving this illusions that. न रूपमस्य तथोपलभ्यते न anto न च आदिर न च sampratishtha. This material, there is no for these attachments, illusions, there is no end to it. You can go on putting so ghee into the fire, it will go on flaring it. So same way you try to keep on enjoying it, then you think that this is all in all. This is the best thing. This is the topmost thing. So we think that we won't be able to come out of it. Aswadhamenam savirudhamulam asanga sastrena drudena chitta. Now you have to cut this unwanted association by taking the sword of transcendental knowledge. That's why Mother Devahuti is telling this. Tada padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti. Then you will not come back into this material world. Tameva chajyam purusham prapadde. One must surrender. Yata pravrutti prasuta purana. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with the determination, one must cut down this tree. This determination can only come again from the sadhu only. When the heart to heart connection is open, and you really want to understand Sri Prabhupada and the spiritual master, his instructions, his Vani, what he wants us to do, how he wants us to do. He repeats throughout, if we are attentively hearing the classes, Guru and Sri Prabhupada, everything becomes so clear. How we must, if you are genuinity and honest with heart, you are always praying that, how can I please my Guru? How can I please Sri Prabhupada? What will please them? Please tell me. I have no idea what to do, how to please them, what to please them. I have no idea. No, I'm not able to understand. Then Lord will give us the intelligence. Everything will become so clear. We become more and more mature in that. If we are not submitting, then we will not know how to please. So we think we are pleasing, but we won't be able to please. Then we can't get the results. Not possible. Not possible. So, doing one must seek that place from which having once gone, one never returns, and surrender to that supreme personality of God from whom everything has begun, in whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. These exact verses are used, 15.1 to 5, in the Mother Devahuti and Kartamuni's instruction, Canto 3, chapter 20, famous chapter, where bhakti is mentioned. Very easy. Asevayam prakrite gunanam, that famous verse. Rujubir Yoga Margai, 25, 26, 27. Asevayam prakrite gunanam gnanena vairagya vijrumbitena yogena mai arpitaja bhaktya mam pratyagatmanam iha avarundate. Matparam, the last line, word, the current verse also. Look at the how one can do it. So clearly indicate this kind of yoga practice, the mind is always fixed upon the supreme devotion, results in liberation in this very life. In this life only, it doesn't take another life. You follow these principles, what has been discussed. The person who performs such acts gets in touch with supreme personality of God. Lord Chaitanya therefore approved the process of hearing from realized devotees about the pastimes of the Lord. It does not matter to what category of this world the audience belongs. We could be coming from any country, anywhere. That's why Prabhupada could transform all these people. They have no idea who is God, who is Son of God, what is Sanatana Dharma. They have no idea. How is that possible? Because by the fortune they have received from this Acharya, pure devotee, and their heart was opened, and they want really heart to heart, they are pleasing, they are offering their prayers and submission, then Lord is giving the everything whatever they needed. Whoever the heart to heart was not open, please submit it. Even to Prabhupada also, they are not responding. As I, other day I told about Subal Maharaj. He was sannyasi, all he has Prabhupada told. Am I asking you to, on the battlefield, Arjuna has been asked only to fight. What am I asking you? Am I asking you to fight? No, I'm not asking you to take weapons and fight. All I'm asking you to chant the holy name, and all I'm asking is sit in the Vrindavan Krishna Balaram temple and take the checks and pay the bills. That's it. I'm not asking you anything rocket science. It's simple. So simple. What is the difficulty? Why are you so unhappy? And he couldn't follow. These two instructions are so simple. Krishna is also telling the simple only. He's not telling any complicated words or instruction to Arjuna. Very simple. You just do your duty. Your father has done, your mother said, both has said, all you have to do is duty for me, for my pleasure, because this is what I want from you. You just do it. This is the actual process to follow Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma. This will please me. And then Arjuna has understood and he followed it. That is the same expectation is there from us also, from the Lord, and from Sri Prabhupada. That's all Prabhupada wanted. That's why it's clearly written here. But you have to hear. Arjuna heard with rapt attention, Narada Muni heard with rapt attention, Chitraketu Maharaj heard with rapt attention, Prahlad Maharaj heard with rapt attention. Kayadu didn't hear it. That's why she forgot, because she was in a completely different state of consciousness. She was thinking, when will my husband come? What will happen to my child? And this and that. And there's such that nothing could go into the heart. For us, all the same thing is happening. Why we are not becoming like Chitraketu or Narada Muni or Prahlad or Dhruva? Because our heart is filled with 100 things and we are so many other obligations, so many priorities, so many things in life that we are not thinking how it should be done as per instructions of the Lord or Prabhupada or Guru. We're always thinking about what will happen to me, where will I go, how will I practice at the end of life, what will happen, who will be there with me, whether I should sit in Holy Dham. No, you don't plan. You hear from sadhus. So many, most of the devotees no planning. They are depending on the Lord and Sri Prabhupada as per their instruction. You hear Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has given in that also, yes. So no, guys, he didn't plan. What will I do for 10, 15, 20 years? Where will I go? Where will I settle? What will I do? Everything depends on what Prabhupada wants you to do, what your Guru wants you to do. So that was it depends. Gunana Prabhu came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, should I get married? I should. I think I should purify my desire traveling and preaching. I should purify my this desire what I have. So sir, there is no problem in Grihastha. Yeah, go ahead and marry. So be situated, get married, yeah, be with your wife, and practice this Krishna consciousness and chant and become a happy person, happy devotee. It's all simple. 10 minutes done. Proper instruction, it was very clear. There is no confusion, there is no ambiguity in it. So there is no problem. But problem is we are not understanding the clear instructions because priorities are so many. We told, why am I asking you? Because Prabhupada said clearly, yes, this is exactly wanted. Prabhupada, I want you to please you. What pleases you? Yes, I have come here to ask you whether I should get married because the only thing is the topmost thing is what pleases you. So you know better because I don't know. It may be good for me or it may not be good for me, but you know the best. So that's why I have come here to ask you because what pleases you is the most important for me in my life. And Prabhupada, yes, this is exactly what this is the perfect. So the perfect practitioner, you have the right attitude, and then Prabhupada instructed. That's it in 10 minutes, clear. Everything was clear. So if you're not heart to heart is not open and not ready to please, then you can go on doing so many things in devotion practice also. We'll never become consistent, we'll never become responsible, we'll never become maturity. Krishna will not use the intelligence, nor a strength, nor sadhu's association, nothing. Mm. She may get here and there, but we won't be able to do it. So this understanding has to be here also same thing. Because the hearing is so mature. Then only you can do it. Then only. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. Hearing is not mature means you are not paying attention. Even if you are multitasking, you are not paying attention and not following. Not even one thing one is following. That means the hearing is not good. Just joining class is not enough. Just reading Prabhupada's books is not enough. Whatever Prabhupada is instructing, what Lord Krishna is in, that's what Arjuna been asked. Did you understand what you want to do? I'm not going to force. What do you want to do? He said, yes, I understood everything. I'm going to follow exactly what you said. You tell me, whatever. Every day, so much fighting, so much killing. Arjuna went on doing it. But he asked for guidance. What should I do? What should I do? Krishna keeps suggesting, you kill this person, you kill, do this, you do that. He went on doing it. Exactly whatever Krishna instruction he did. So the same thing. If you want to become Arjuna, if you want to get the mercy, if you want to become consistent, responsibility, maturity, then you have to follow exactly what Prabhupada is instructing, exactly line by line. If he is instructing, give up this. Wake up at this time. Chant the holy names. Hear, practice, service. Whatever he tells, we should be ready to accept with heart and do it. That's it. When we start doing it, then we'll get enough strength and all the adjustment in life, materialist, everything will fall in its place. This is my experience, and this is all the those who are practicing sincerely as per Prabhupada, and it is their experience if you ask them. So it will become very clear, and you will see the transformation, and you will become so happy in the heart naturally because when the heart is open directly with the Lord through an acharya, then everything becomes very clear. There will not be a single ambiguity what you should do, what you should not do. Otherwise, everything will become a confusion. Even though we are practicing so long, so many questions will come. Otherwise, not a single question will arise. Yes, when you are so clear, so much ready to follow what Prabhupada says, then nothing, not a single question will arise. Yes, if at all, if confusion comes, it will be immediately answered in matter of day or two. It doesn't take. Either it will be answered in a proper purport or proper lecture or from another sadhu. It will be clear very, very quickly. This confusion won't stay much longer because one is sincerely following it, whatever Prabhupada is telling. If that is our problem. We are not hearing sincerely with heart open and not following it. So that is our fundamental problem. That's what it says. If one meekly, submissively, is that. If you are meek enough, then why will you not follow? If you are not meek enough and submissive enough, that's why we are not able to follow. That is the fundamental problem. Bhagavad Dharma means one has to be meek and submissive. So otherwise, it doesn't. One can fall down at any stage. One will do things which is against what Prabhupada is instructing, what Guru is instructing. One will keep on doing these things because one is not meek and submissive. That's a period. If one meekly and submissively hears about the activities of the Lord from a realized soul, realized soul means it has to be in line. If whoever is not reading from Prabhupada's books and not hearing from Prabhupada, you won't know. One will not know who's realized, who's not realized, who's bona fide, who's not bona fide, who's actually practicing, who's not properly practicing. You will not know because you have no basis to compare with. On what basis you are going to compare? Whether this person is bona fide, what is he following, what is he not following? Because you have not read and heard properly, then you have no idea to compare with. Against what principles are you going to compare? Whom you want to surrender? Which spiritual master? If you have not read Prabhupada, how will you know? How will you know whom to surrender? It is not external. It is not external. Bhakti is internal. How will you know? So yes, this is the problem. That's why reading and hearing is so important. If you want to surrender, then you must know. If you want to practice Krishna consciousness, if you want to please the Acharya, you want to please the Lord, one must hear. So all these examples which I gave, Narada Muni, Prahlad, Dhruva, Chitraketu Maharaj, so quick because they have heard. That is their only qualification. And this is exactly the same thing Devhut is telling, Lord Kapila is telling. One meekly and submissively hears about the activities of the Lord from a realized soul, he will be able to conquer the Supreme Personality who is unconquerable by any other process. Is it clear? Very clear. Hearing or associating with devotees is the most important function for self-realization. Otherwise, it is automatically sense enjoyment. It is easy to be falling under sense enjoyment and difficult to come to the self-realization if you are not paying attention to the hearing. That's it. That is the essence. If you want to become consistent, responsible, and mature, keep hearing, no matter what, at what time your guru will give class. Either you hear it same day or next day. So, Prabhupada class, Prabhupada books has to be read every day, and one has to hear from guru. One has to hear. If we don't hear it, then there is no way we will know what exactly Guru wants us to do as a disciple. No way. We won't know. Because Prabhupada heard it in front of sitting in front of Guru, you could understand whole life, you could practice it. You become consistent, maturity, and responsible. Jana Prabhu did all the same thing. Mm. That's why he could do exactly. He could understand what Prabhupada wanted. So much love, so much attachment, so much surrender. He has given $5,000 from his first job. He was working so many hours of driving. At the end, also, what is use of this body? No use. Just you take this money. Somebody has given $5,000. He had cancer at the end. Then he gave that money also to Prabhupada. Why I should care about this body? Let me go on standing. So you can't imitate these things. But he did it. That's why Prabhupada said, yes, he went back home, back to God. He returned to Rameswar Prabhu. That, yes, Jnana Prabhu. It's glorious. His activities are glorious. So that is what it is. Lord Jagannath Maharaj is also there because his heart-to-heart connection is open with the Lord and with the Acharya. So that's what we should do. With that, we'll end. So it's very important verse, whatever we're at. We simply follow this instruction. Our life is perfected and we'll go back home, back to Godhead in this life. It doesn't take another lifetime. So everything, material problems also will be fixed to the most extent. Some things will go on. But for most problems will be fixed. So that we will be able to practice Krishna consciousness much more seriously, much more effectively, so that Krishna will adjust all those, Guru will adjust. Sadhu's mercy will make us adjust in all those things. Otherwise, natural demigods will take its place because they will do the action reaction business. Lord will and Sadhu will come into picture only if we are ready to heart open and we are ready to follow their instruction. And when the Lord sees that, then he can adjust. He become obligated. He has to make everything for the devotee who's practicing so sincerely, trying to please Guru and Sri Prabhupada. Randhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.